Welcome to Providence Park for the Portland Thorns preseason tournament. The Thorns hosting Seattle in a preseason match that should be a dandy. And heck, why not renew the rivalry from the great Northwest with this perfect way to end the month of March. Good evening, everybody. Ann Schatz's joined by my broadcast partner. That's Laura Schott, Portland State University coach and former Cal All-American. All right, boy. New coach Mark Parsons. A lot of new faces to this team. I mean, on paper, it looks like a really talented bunch.
There's no doubt, Ann. This team is solid. There are some new additions to the roster. This team's going to be one that we want to watch all year long. Very, very talented.
Okay, about 20 minutes ago, we got to watch warm-ups, and you just couldn't help but go, oh my gosh, there's Horan. Oh my gosh, there's Klingenberg. I mean, what players stand out to you?
It is simple, and it's Horan, Klingenberg, and Sonnet at center back. Horan's a great midfielder. She can get forward. She can score goals. I'm interested to see how she is on the defensive side of the ball. Klingenberg on the left, she's going to be great going up and back, playing 18 to 18. Very exciting player off the women's national team. And then Sonnet, our draft pick.
Yes.
New center back. Looking forward to see how she fits into the group.
All right, head coach Laura Schott. Let's put the head coach cap on. I mean, what does Mark Parsons glean from a match like this? As a head coach, you love the training sessions, but nothing like a match.
No, absolutely not. And against a team that's been in the finals, it's going to be a great match. It's going to be a good starting point to see where the team is right off the bat. Maybe there will be some changes that come from this game. Maybe this will be a lineup that he uses all year, but you use this match to see where you want to go from here.
Obviously, Seattle comes in with a very talented team as well, and they should give the Portland Thorns an awful lot this evening, no doubt about it.
Seattle's going to be a great matchup for us. They're a tremendous team. They're walking out right now. It's going to be a great matchup to see how the Thorns and the Reign work today.
We know that midfield for Seattle is awfully fun to watch.
Oh, that midfield's fantastic with Fishlock. You've got Winters in there. You've got
Kim Little, right?
Oh my gosh, Kim Little's
yeah,
amazing.
Like one of the best in the world.
She's fantastic. So looking at those three against our midfield this time, it's going to be a good matchup.
Sounds like a good one, and we cannot wait to bring it to you. We have got lineups and opening kick coming up in just a moment.
Now order online at papamurphys.com and get 25% off all pizzas. In other words, order online for a 25% price cut. Order online to slice 25% off the cost of your pizzas. Or order online to shred 25% off your Papa Murphy's pizza bill. It's a great deal. Any way you slice it. Enter code SAVE25 at checkout and save 25% on all Papa Murphy's pizzas. PapaMurphys.com. Love at 425 degrees.
The world is a curious place, full of puzzles still waiting to be solved. Stonehenge, the pyramids, Easter Island, and today, another enigma rises out of the clouds. Who is the face on the tail?
There's do-it-yourself health, and then there's times when you need more. Introducing Providence Express Care. Get a same-day visit for the things you just can't treat at home. The sore throat that won't quit, that soccer sprain, the stomach ache that no pink drink can settle. We're here for you 7 days a week with extended hours to suit your life. Want fast care from folks who know health? That's Providence Express Care. Find the location nearest you today at providenceexpresscare.org.
Welcome back to Providence Park. We're moments away from the start of the preseason match between the hometown Portland Thorns and Seattle Reign. It's a new-look Thorns bunch, so many of the new faces you're just going to have to get used to, and it'll be a fun process, let me tell you. So let's take a look at some of those newbies in the starting lineup. One of them will not be Michelle Betos. The veteran will start in goal for Portland, one of the fan favorites, that's for sure. Thorns' backline will feature a strong foursome in Klingenberg, that awesome new addition, joined by Menges, the rookie Sonnet, and Kat Williamson. Allie Long will join Horan and Dagny in the midfield with Sink, Tobin, and Nadim up top. The Seattle starting 11 looks like this. Hope Solo will start between the pipes. The solid, venerable Lauren Barnes will anchor a really tough defense, and that Reign midfield is always a blast to watch. Little, Fishlock, Winters. Keep your eye on the speedy Reign newcomer, Manon Mellis. Should be loads of fun. You know, you think, Laura Schott, of this Portland Thorns club with new head coach Mark Parsons coming in from Washington. A lot of the new faces, but there will be some very familiar faces anchoring this club. The Betoses, the Longs, and of course, Christine Sinclair.
Yeah, absolutely. Sink's going to play that target player up top. She's a very, very talented player that we all know so well. Tobin working off of her, and Nadeem on the right. You mentioned that's going to be a great core going forward.
So a decent crowd on hand. I'll say a good crowd on hand. It's a holiday Sunday, and yet the Thorns faithful are here as you would expect. Leading the league in attendance year after year after year. It should be no difference this season here at Providence Park. The Thorns in their home kits, black stem to stern, and the visiting Reign with their black shorts and socks and multi-striped jerseys, blue, black, and white.
What a beautiful day for a game, man. It's been raining off and on today, but for kickoff, we have the sun out.
And I mean, it's an absolute gift when you think about what this day looked like in the morning. Low 50s now, and you know the winds should not be a factor. West at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. But great conditions for this preseason matchup between the Northwest rivals, Portland Thorns, and the Seattle Reign, who have dominated regular season play in this league for a couple of years now. The Reign still chasing that elusive NWSL crown. Portland, of course, winning the championship title in 2013, the league's inaugural season. And Laura, how about this? We begin our 4th season in NWSL play, meaning this will be the longest tenured professional women's league, and by golly, 4 years and running.
And isn't that tremendous? I can't even explain how excited I was when I saw this league go to year 4 after the first 2, failing after 3. This one going strong, and the Portland fan base showing up in great numbers even for an exhibition game.
You know it, and we are underway. The Thorns will be a club that will get to know each other as the minutes progress. That's for sure. Been training Portland for the last 2 or 3 weeks. All these new faces and games and skills to integrate. Mark Parsons, the guy to do just that.
Mark Parsons, young coach, well beyond his years, very intelligent. I've been very impressed by Mark.
Betos getting the nod in goal. A.D. Franch, the other keeper for the Portland Thorns, probably will not play tonight. She's been dinged up a little bit, but she has been impressive in training as well. It'll be a battle to determine who that number 1 keeper is going to be for this bunch.
France is a tremendous talent. She's going to be a great addition to this roster, and she's going to push Betos.
What's critical for these Thorns, Coach Schott, in these opening moments of play in terms of just finding some rhythm and balance?
Being the first game, it's important to find that rhythm and balance and get into the game, get some possession under your belt, keep the ball, start to get to know your teammates in the game setting against a very good opponent.
It'll be a throw in for Seattle. We're early in this match. Sun splashed late afternoon. Great night for this preseason match between the Thorn and Reign. These two clubs will see each other plenty during the regular season. The way the schedule rounds out, if I'm not mistaken, 4 times they'll play each other in the regular season. Goodness.
Four is a lot. 4 for any team in any season is a lot of times to match up. And the way these two teams are built, the way these two teams play, I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being more than 4.
I like the way you're thinking. You know, before the match, Coach Parsons was talking about how physical his club can and has to be against this Seattle team. Why is that so important?
The Seattle team is built on veterans. In order to get their feet under them, they have to continue to battle. And if this Thorns team battles and is physical, which we expect them to be, This is going to be a very good matchup, even though the Thorns have had some changes.
Boy, nice action inside the 18 for the Thorns there. That pass to Dagny just off. And obviously with Hope Solo prowling that 6-yard box, it's going to take something special to find the back of the net against arguably the best keeper in the world. Portland, though, keeping that ball in their offensive third. Heath, very clever here. Heath inside the 18. Heath leaves it. Sink, pausing. Nadim. This is a patient club. The Thorns looking to try and stretch that Seattle defense. No problem for Solo as Williamson from 40 yards out lets it fly.
It's nice to see the Thorns early able to put some pressure and then keep the ball and then create some good chances going forward into the final third.
You could just see how Heath and Sinclair have been able to use their chemistry and time together nicely on a couple of those possessions right near that 18.
They've played together for a little while now. Those are two players on this roster that are pretty comfortable with each other, and they offset each other very well in their styles of play.
I'm really excited to see how Emily Sonnet, first pick of the draft, how quickly she settles into a professional role. Thorns again inside the 18. Tobin. Heath will chase it down. Marked by Reed. Tobin dancing, still with the ball. And Tobin can't believe that ball wasn't called off of the Seattle Reign. She was double teamed a lot as she neared the 6-yard box.
I don't think that's the last time we're going to see that. Tobin Heath is so creative. When she gets in the final third, if you send a second, you have a much better chance of matching up with her.
So still scoreless, 5th minute. I just love the idea that the Thorns put together this preseason tournament. Other squads involved. We'll get to that in a second as here's Sinclair. Stops on a dime against Fletcher, and she'll leave it. Long passing back. Tobin just a little tough on that touch. Earlier today, Houston defeated Oregon State. Those are the other clubs involved in this preseason tournament. And speaking of Oregon State, that's who Portland will play, Laura, on Wednesday night right here at Providence Park.
What a tremendous opportunity for Oregon State.
Oh, man.
The Thorns then get to see another layer. They get to have this one game under their belt, and then they can match up with another team, maybe make some changes, maybe give new players an opportunity to play, come into the second match ready to go.
As the head coach for Portland State, Laura, I mean, you realize graduation or injuries or transfers coming in, you're always going to have changes in your lineup. You're always going to have new faces. You're going to lose some players for a variety of reasons. JUCO kids, whatever, are coming in. How hard is it to integrate all the new faces and skills?
It's difficult. It's difficult at the college level. It's difficult, I imagine, at just about every level. The Thorns are experiencing some of that just with trades and movement with their roster, and it's going to take a little time for them to get into a rhythm, although we've seen some good things early.
Yeah, I agree with you. This is a club that I think, yes, there's a learning curve, but they're going to make up that curve quickly. There is so much talent on this Portland club.
I agree. I believe you're right.
So right now, folks are saying, wait a second, whose ball is that? That was an interesting play. Sonnet lets it go out of bounds, and they're going to say that was last touch by the Thorns, I think. Yanez chasing it down. See how Sonnet just kind of overruns it? But here's a corner. Interesting. And not well played at all by Seattle as Heath in a foot race with Matthias. Merritt sends it right back to Solo.
She does a good job of fending Heath off there and playing back to Solo, and the Reign are looking to build out.
Here comes Seattle. Really one of the first times they've had some offensive punch in their offensive third. Nice job by Kat to dispossess. Seattle's ball. Keep your eye on number 14 on that far side, Manon Mellis. A terrific acquisition for this Seattle club. Member of the Netherlands national team is Mellis, and just super, super quick. She can get up and down that flank in a hurry.
She showed her speed and her athleticism on that play.
Another set piece for this Seattle bunch. Far post, headed away. Beautiful job by Nadine. How about Nadia saving the day there, Laura Schott?
That was a great save. That was a great play. Winters there, heading it back across for Fishlock, and goes just over the bar.
Nadine first had to clear it, and then Fishlock just high with that attempt off the noggin. Heady play, speaking of, by Nadia Nadim. Speaking of great acquisitions, my goodness. The Thorns are going to love watching her play in Thorns gear instead of trying to defend her. Coming over from Sky Blue, exploding onto the scene a couple of years ago for Sky Blue. And here she is with the Portland Thorns. She's special. Cutting it back nicely, Kat. Nice touch. Horan so strong on that ball. Through, brilliant. Sinclair. Oh, so close. What a centering pass by Sinclair.
Nice play from Horan to get the ball to Sinclair there. What a great chance.
And Sinky really had a chance with Dagny to do something special. Just a great look to Brynjar's daughter, who came flying down the gut, but just missed that centering pass. Klingenberg nicely played. That World Cup experience is going to just play into the hands of Portland's successes so much this year.
Early on, this Mellis-Klingenberg matchup is very exciting.
Pretty good, huh?
And what Mark Parsons said before the game, that this was going to be a physical match with a couple of fouls called early, and you can see some physical play and some Reign players that are bodying up on Tobin Heath. She's been in a couple battles. It's a very physical match so far.
Long, very solid so far in this match. Doing a nice job at that mid. A little tough on the touch there. Dagny chases it down, keeps it alive. Nadim wants to go wide. Cuts it back, keeps her feet inside the 18. Nadim. Nicely played by the Seattle defense.
Nadim, what a great play there. She goes forward, and that's something that we're going to look to see from her this season, is her penetrating on the dribble and creating trouble for opponents.
Klingenberg heading it down nicely to Horan. Allie will be pressured. Calmly finds Horan. Oh, that Seattle midfield. The whistle will blow against the Reign. Heath very active, as you would expect. I mean, her role is so fluid from the mid up to the forward position, Laura. She loves the pockets and the spaces, and she'll find them.
And she's okay with the pressure on.
Yep.
She likes to have the ball at her feet, and the interchange between her and perhaps Dagny, Nadim, Horan going forward, they're very good at playing off of each other.
Horan sends it inside the 18. Sinclair can't get a head on it. Long. Nice to find Horan. Nice combination and short passing by this Thorns bunch to keep possession. Williamson looking for help, looks to turn the corner. Whistle finally blows. Well, there's a matchup there as Yanez and Kat tangled.
There's so many key matchups on this field.
Oh, man. Klingenberg leaving it. Oh, Solo at the last second comes to punch it away because there Dagny was on that far post looking for goal number 1. What a ball.
What a ball by Klingenberg. And Dagny coming in for that cross.
Whoa.
Solo just gets a hand to
Yep.
it and plays it wide. Great play by Solo.
Oh, man, well played by Solo. Dagny has been flying around that 6, and her eyes had to have been as big as hubcaps. Here's the Thorns' first corner. Line drive. Seattle able to get a foot on that rocket shot. And so far, Portland has done a nice job of keeping the ball in their offensive third.
Had some very nice center play and entering the attacking third and also keeping possession in the attacking half so far. Portland's done a good job of keeping the ball and then switching the point of attack and looking for opportunities.
Fishlock, clever, so clever. Finds her buddy Little. Streaking on that far sideline is Reed. Matthias can't flag it down.
Reed got forward very well on that play, and if she continues to go forward, she's going to drag Heath back. And if they continue to attack down that right side, overloading Klingenberg and pressing forward, then it's going to be easier for Seattle to generate attack out of that side on the right side of the field.
What are you seeing in Horan's game so far, Laura?
I'm impressed so far. She's been on the ball quite a bit. She's playing very well through midfield. She's been involved in some of the key plays in this game. She's doing very well and fitting in very well early.
Couldn't agree more. I love the fact that whether it's Nadim or Horan or Dagny, I mean, these folks are really getting into the mix. And I think Long has been very solid in keeping things anchored in that midfield and going forward. Numbers high in that backfield. Heath, far sideline. Marked by Reed. Doubled again. Heath, so quick.
It's what's so dangerous about Heath, that she's quick on the dribble, but she's also very creative on the ball. She has both weapons, and she can use both at her expense when the game calls for it. And there you see her going in line, looking for that cross back. Doesn't quite get it off, but now there's a Thorns corner.
You know, last year most of the corners were taken by Allie Long, but Coach Parsons is predicting that Heath, when here, will take a lot of the set pieces and corners.
Heath is so unpredictable in terms of she can play the ball short, overlap, get the ball in.
Line drive. Sink trying to climb the ladder on that. Battle inside. Speaking of Sinclair, she's double team, tag team, and Seattle just clears it. You can tell at 5'9" that Sink is the target of a lot of those corner kicks right in front of that 6.
There are a few very talented players in the air that you could use as a target for this Thorns team. This first game early on, looking to find Sink's head.
And Dagny at 5'11" is a good target as well.
Absolutely.
Smartly played by Long. Fishlock had a notion. Streaking teammate, but Long got ahead on it.
One thing that stood out to me early in this game is Klingenberg and Heath interchanging on the left side of the field. It's very fluid. They're familiar with each other. Both went to North Carolina. The way that they've changed positions, and now they change again, it's seamless.
World Cup teammates, obviously. Yanez in this near corner. Williamson blocks that shot. Ball quickly in play again. Barnes. Allie, that was clever. Little back heel all the way out to the area where her team can work with it.
You don't see that all the time.
Ball up top. Nicely played by Corsi. And Fishlock head up, looking for something to work with, and Reed on that far sideline, marked by Tobin. Winters stretching the Portland defense. That's the goal. So the offside flag will go up. What are you seeing from an organized Portland defense so far, Laura?
Doing very well defensively. They're getting back. Again, it's a physical game. The interchanging is higher level than you might expect for your average preseason game. So those roles and responsibilities defensively, they've picked up very quickly in preseason.
Klingenberg turns. She's able to find Sink, a little bottled up there with her, with Sink and Heath. So Reed takes it away, but sends it right back to Horan. Unselfish there, maybe a little too unselfish. Ooh, dangerous. Nadim not quitting on that ball. She and Corsi met. You could hear it all the way up here.
You could hear it loudly up here. Just one of many collisions so far in this game.
19th minute here at Providence Park. Preseason match between the Thorns and arch rival Seattle. Oh, I love the idea there by Yanez. And Betos can't flag it down. One of the few errors that, outright errors that the Thorns defense has made. And Seattle's got action.
Betos tries to save it off the line, doesn't quite get there. Rain corner.
One of the greatest players in the world will tee it up. Kim Little. I love that ball. Betos comes flying to snag that thing. And again, Nadim staying home on the near post just in case. Matthias still holding. Boy, Little thought she had a little room to squeeze out a shot. But here comes the Thorns going the other way as they dispossess. Corsi now returns the favor.
The Reign have had some success down this right side of the field.
Yes.
Ellie Reed's looked very good in possession. Every once in a while they're looking for this long ball. Hasn't quite connected, but it started to stretch the Thorns defense.
Winters tripped up. Heath helps her up. Inadvertent all the way. Just a bunch of University of Portland grads littering this field. Winters is one of them, and of course, Sinclair.
Reed.
There you go. Keep on going. Who am I forgetting?
Many familiar faces out there.
Yeah. Michelle Cruz, who can come off the bench. Barnes looking for a target on the throw-in. We know this about Seattle, a club that can score a lot of goals in bunches and score quickly. Barnes with the left. Dangerous ball for Betos, punches it out of the way. Still, Seattle's got action. Fishlock leaves it. And Yanez will get things organized. Little.
Good job switching the point of attack by Winters.
Yeah, I love that pass too. Yanez gets ahead on it, but Nadim is there to try and clear, but that'll land at the feet of Barnes. Seattle has looked good in this final third possession.
good in the final third, and then when it doesn't quite work out, they've done a pretty good job of bringing the ball back, switching the point of attack, and it seems that it's part of their game plan. They keep trying to get to that right side and then penetrate down that right side.
But you're right, it's a patient club that understands that bringing it back and beginning again, nothing wrong with that.
No, it's such a talented side, and they can keep the ball, they can take chances, they don't quite work out, they know they'll get another chance, they're very confident, they'll continue to look to play forward.
And they have been, the Reign switching fields and effectively using that right side, but Portland has been able to respond and get back in defensive shape to keep the Reign off the board.
Yeah, the Reign have had a few good chances going forward, and Betos has gotten her hand to a couple. Solo's gotten her hand to a ball, making a great save.
Foot race here. Winters taps it right back to Solo. Betos, the league's goalkeeper of the year.
What a tremendous year she had.
My goodness. Heady play by Sonnet.
Sonnet, a new player to this roster, a draft pick this year. So far, she's looked solid in play.
Comes to Portland from the University of Virginia. Getting national team experience. And as you mentioned, not only the Portland Thorns first pick in the draft, the first overall pick in the draft.
Yes, she's a well-known commodity. She is a very good player, very solid. As you mentioned, first in the draft. Also, I believe, defensive player in the College Cup. Very experienced center back out of Virginia.
And earns the starting nod tonight. Here she is. Long leaves it, dangerous there. Seattle starting to ratchet up the defense and put a little bit more on-ball pressure, it would appear, Laura.
A little more pressure in their attacking third as well, so they're starting to inch up the field as a solid unit and pick their times that they're going to maybe pressure Sonnet, a little less experienced player in that back line. Put a little pressure on her, see if they can knock a ball off or get a chance, generate some opportunity in their attacking third.
I like that move. Klingenberg's going to try and catch up to that pass from Heath, and does. Here's Klingenberg. Inside the 18. Dangerous ball. Sinks where? Are you kidding? Off the crossbar. Oh, so close.
That play started by Klingenberg saving that ball off the end line and then playing it back to Sink off the crossbar. What a great, great chance by the Thorns.
I love the fact that they're looking for Sink right in the middle of that 6. Look at Nadim. Keeping that ball alive is Klingenberg, and here's Heath. Far side 18. Heath looking to cut back. Ball blocked. Thorns putting the heat on, Laura.
This last 2 minutes with Klingenberg saving that ball off the end line and then getting the ball out to Heath. Heath creating a great chance there. Doesn't go in, but generates a corner.
Sink so close with the header off that crossbar. But here's another corner kick for the Thorns. 27th minute, still scoreless here at Providence Park. Good defense by Seattle.
It's been clear early on that on those set pieces, the Thorns continue to look for Sinclair.
Yep. Menges just would not quit on that play. Sweet, Tobin, sweet. Long ball. This is a Seattle bunch that won't give up many soft, cheap goals. They're just very solid in that back line.
They're solid in the back, and then having Hope Solo behind you doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, no fooling. Hey, look at Allie. Get off me. Foot race there. Dagny hustling in, but Solo coming off her line nicely.
Some of that interchanging there. Dagny takes off and she goes through the front line and makes that run in behind, creates some chaos for the Reign, but Solo, obviously solid, comes through, takes the ball.
And actually, Solo took the biggest hit from her teammate Fletcher, who was trying to help on the defensive side. Everybody's okay.
Fletcher, another very talented player, playing center back.
Sink. Speaking of Fletcher, Fletcher will mark Sinclair. Sink cuts it back. Centering pass, nobody there. And Hope scoops it up.
Last year in our July matchup, the Thorns and the Reign, Fletcher was playing left back, so now playing that center back is a change for her, but a position she's familiar with.
Just a versatile, solid, steady player is Fletcher. Ball knocked off of Klingenberg.
As we've seen so many times in the past, you have Fishlock and Little connecting and then finding a forward, coming through, looking for that last pass, that last link.
Millis has got the quicks, but she's got a leg too. She can really crack it. Another corner for the Seattle Reign. They've come close. One time in particular when Nadeem had to head it from going in the back of the net. Winters, ball up for grab. Corsi thought she might get a foot on it, but Seattle be content to begin from their back line. Fishlock, ball alive, and cleared again by the Thorns defense. Whoa, wait a second now. All right, play whistle dead.
Offsides there.
The offside flag went up. I love the fact that if Betos is out of position, the Thorns back line is there to help.
Thorns so far have done a very good job getting forward, but they've also done a tremendous job getting back. There you see the save, but called offsides.
30th minute. Good crowd on hand for this preseason match. Weather cooperating nicely. The forecast looked pretty dismal, but by golly, it's 50 degrees and dry with some sun. Tag team is Mellis. Beautiful look on that far side. Kind of a wasted opportunity that time for Seattle.
It was. I've been impressed, though, with the play, same as last year, between Fishlock and Little, but then you add Mellis, and it adds another dynamic, another dimension to their attack.
Mellis, just a great goal scorer in the top Swedish league, and obviously a member, as we mentioned, of the Netherlands national team. Played in the 2015 Cup, did Manon. She is going to be a ball to watch this season for Seattle.
So far today, she's been fun to watch. I'm looking forward to seeing what she brings the rest of the season.
I know Seattle is just so bummed about missing Rapinoe to that ACL, and of course Stephanie Cox retiring. Katrine Vi going back to Denmark to play in her native homeland. So there are some missing pieces, but boy, Seattle looks good.
They look very good. They might have had some roster changes, but they're returning such a good core that you're going to see a lot of great attacking opportunities regardless.
Look at Nadeem. She and Matthias going toe-to-toe on that end line.
That's some confidence playing out of your back. First preseason game.
Love it. Flick header from Little. Tight space here for Seattle, but Fishlock comes out of it, and she's got room to carry. Fishlock blocked by Horan. Nicely played by Klingenberg, but look at Fishlock again. Dangerous play here. Oh, just wide as Matthias. The Thorns turn it over, and Matthias is right there with a point-blank shot.
Matthias receives the ball there, and she knocks it just wide. It was a great, great opportunity. Maybe a little fortunate for the Thorns that she did hit that wide, and perhaps the Thorn defender there got a piece of it.
Maybe so, but I'm thinking Matthias would like that one back. So still scoreless. It's been a little while since Portland has tested solo. Nadim into space. Sinclair sends Corsi flying.
Some people say that Sinclair's getting a little older, but it seems to me that she's still got quite a bit of bite.
I like that. Yep, I think the engine is still going just fine. That was just a hustle play by Sink. You know, it doesn't show up in the highlights, but you break it down when you watch film and say, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's why the captain armband is on Sink tonight. Dangerous here. So Sonnet, the rookie, going toe-to-toe with the great Kim Little.
Kim Little's so good at making those runs from the midfield into the back line. The rookie there does a good job of absorbing that run.
You saw how Little on that run used an angle and that burst of speed to give herself a chance.
Her speed is so deceptive.
Yes,
She's
it is.
so quick on and off the ball.
There's a great look at Kim Little. Sinclair heads it out of danger. Ball blocked. Betos on her knees had to get up as Mellis had another crack at it.
Mellis hits the shot there, hits it solid on frame. Betos, solid save.
Cat pressured, gives it up to Winters. Little. Fishlock, the diagonal, that far side. Mella seems to just be all over the pitch for Seattle. Winters blocks it and controls. Trying to stretch that Portland defense. Corsi. Nice little give and go to herself right there. And into space and out of bounds. Barnes loses the touch. Seattle, of course, finishing the regular season last year at 13-3-4, first in the league. Scored the most goals, allowed the fewest amount of goals. Beat Washington, Mark Parsons and his Washington bunch in the semis, but then lost a heartbreaker right here at Providence Park to Kansas City.
That's right, that final played last year at Providence Park between Kansas City and the Rain.
Little, so dangerous here, blocked. That ball still up for grabs near the penalty spot kick area, and Seattle is really starting to turn things on.
Little with another one of those penetrating runs from midfield. So dangerous.
Seems like Seattle has done everything but win that championship. The Shield, yes. The tournament crown, no. Beautiful ball, knocked away by Haran. Heath. Heath, careful now. Crowd loves it. And the Thorns coming off a disappointing campaign. I think it's okay to say, Laura, not when you don't make the playoffs, it's disappointing.
For the Thorns last year, perhaps, they wanted to get a bit further. But moving forward, this roster is built to really change the face of the team from last year.
No question. This is a new look team. Yes, some of the really solid veterans are back and contributing, no doubt about it. But the talent that the Thorns have brought in makes them one of the favorites. I can't help but think if they stay healthy and can figure out, as everybody else is challenged, to figure out Olympic call-ups, This is going to be a really good Thorns team.
Will be a different situation this year from last with the Olympics and the World Cup. Last year, a lot of players were in and out, obviously, because of the World Cup. And this year, there's a bit more of a break for that Olympic experience for those players to go to the Olympics, to play, but then for their teams to not go without them.
For as long.
For as long.
Yes. Nicely played by Sonnet. Cat's going to play it right back to the rookie. Betos calls for it here in the 38th minute. Scoreless at Providence Park. This is when you bring the jackets out, maybe a few blankets, as that sun disappears behind the clouds and the temperature probably nudges a bit below 50. Nice leave, and Horan is finding Klingenberg on that far sideline. Sinclair nudges it. Brings it back against Corsi. Sinclair. Miss hit by Barnes, so Nadim will control.
Some good patience here by the Thorns. Ball comes across, doesn't quite work out. Bring it back to Williamson. Look to play central. Now looking to play wide again and go forward.
Good work there. Heath has got some room. She looks to send it. Ball blocked and very much alive for Dagny. Here's Heath again. Heath. Thought maybe a volley would come from Nadim. Instead, Ali switches point of attack. Nicely played by Reed, who steps right in front of Klingenberg. Ball will belong to Seattle. Scoreless here in the 40th minute. Preseason matchup between the Seattle Reign and Portland Thorns. I remember when these clubs met, Laura, in 2013, right here in Portland, when the Thorns were flying high early in the season and Seattle was really struggling, but the rivalry got off to a great start that very day. Close match. This place was on fire.
This place is on fire a lot.
Yeah, you're right. Led the league in attendance last year, as we mentioned, over 15,000 per match. Man.
Isn't that amazing?
It really is. Couple of sellouts. Nicely played by Long. But the whistle blows. Allie can't believe it. She thought she kind of got that poke check in her favor. But instead, it'll be Seattle's ball, and we're in play.
I thought Long did pretty well with that. Seattle restarts quickly. Look to switch the point of attack. Playing very, very well. But Long went into that tackle very well.
I thought so too. Looked clean, but what the heck. Barnes. Big one hopper. Yikes. Klingenberg got ahead on it while Betos had come way off of her line. Perhaps
one of the few miscues between the goalkeeper and the backs for the Thorns today. Klingenberg coming back, her and Betos, this is their first game together in Thorns uniforms.
So slow to get up is Horan as the whistle finally blows. Allie finding Heath on that far sideline. Klingenberg right back to Heath. Smartly played. Nadim. That's just great defense. You know, Yanez, she scores so many goals for this club, was so great last year, especially during the World Cup call-ups, but she can play some defense too.
She can play defense, she can get forward. She's a very versatile player, and with her, Mellis, Matthias up top, this is a very dangerous attack for the Reign.
Yanez with those 9 goals and 1 assist last year was absolutely terrific for Laura Harvey and Seattle when they really needed her to score with those studs called up for World Cup duty. complimenting Little and Fishlock so well. Seattle didn't lose a lot in the call-up department, but Yanez was there to pick up the slack.
A lot of teams are lucky that Little was not in the World Cup.
You're not kidding.
One of the best players in the world not playing in the World Cup.
Little and Fishlock.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Seattle really benefited from not having those players.
And boy, didn't it show in the body of work throughout the course of the regular season.
Absolutely, and you can tell in their understanding and how much they've played together.
Mark Parsons in his debut for the Portland Thorns, his first year as the Thorns head coach, spending the last 3 years with the Washington Spirit, doing a great job taking that club to the playoffs the last couple of years. And a young guy with some great, fresh, new ideas.
He may be young, but he's well experienced.
No question.
The way this team has come out in their first preseason game, very organized, interchanging very well. I don't think age is going to be a factor for him.
I agree. You know, the experience he got before the Spirit with Chelsea FC, those 5-6 years spent with that club, I thought gave him a world of big-time experience.
Absolutely he did. He got great experience with those clubs, and now coming into a roster like the Thorns have, I'm excited to see what happens next.
Free kick. Bodies flying. Oh, Hope Solo was out of position on that deflection. It wasn't like it was a shot or anything, but that was just wide of finding the back of the net.
That ball deflected by Dagny. Solo a little bit late there. Fun frame, it may have gone in.
Looked like it went off of Fletcher, her own player. Here's a corner for the Thorns here in the 45th minute. Fishlock gets a head on it and will chase it down. What else is new? Here comes Jess. And she can carry with the best of them. Beautiful ball. Little will flag it down. Menges will give pursuit. Matthias centers. Unlucky there, right to the boot of Heath. Klingenberg trying to find Sinclair, who comes up limping on that left foot, Laura. Sink is hurting. Wondered if she landed awkwardly. She'll try to go now. Here comes Allie, and she's got Sink on the left. Let's see if Sink gives it a crack. Tries to find Allie. Of course, he steps in. Offside flag is up.
Just a slight bit offsides there. Very close. Sink looking for that ball. If she had been just a step back, that may have worked out well.
I didn't hear from the PA system what kind of stoppage time we're looking at. Solo will put the ball in play. And there's your answer, not much. So a scoreless but really fun first half. Both clubs with scoring opportunities. The defenses have been good. The standout players have been really fun, but nobody able to find the back of the net yet. Halftime activities just around the corner. Seattle, Portland, scoreless here at Providence Park.
Now order online at papamurphys.com and get 25% off all pizzas. In other words, order online for a 25% price cut. Order online to slice 25% off the cost of your pizzas. Or order online to shred 25% off your Papa Murphy's pizza bill. It's a great deal any way you slice it. Enter code SAVE25 at checkout and save 25% off all Papa Murphy's pizzas. PapaMurphys.com. Love at 425 degrees.
The world is a curious place, full of puzzles still waiting to be solved. Stonehenge, the pyramids, Easter Island, And today, another enigma rises out of the clouds. Who is the face on the tail?
There's do-it-yourself health, and then there's times when you need more. Introducing Providence Express Care. Get a same-day visit for the things you just can't treat at home. The sore throat that won't quit, that soccer sprain, the stomach ache that no pink drink can settle. We're here for you 7 days a week with extended hours to suit your life. Want fast care from folks who know health? That's Providence Express Care. Find the location nearest you today at providenceexpresscare.org.
is a curious place, full of puzzles still waiting to be solved. Stonehenge, the pyramids, Easter Island, and today, another enigma rises out of the clouds. Who is the face on the tail?
Now order online at papamurphys.com and get 25% off all pizzas. In other words, order online for a 25% price cut. Order online to slice 25% off the cost of your pizzas. Or order online to shred 25% off your Papa Murphy's pizza bill. It's a great deal, any way you slice it. Enter code SAVE25 at checkout and save 25% off all Papa Murphy's pizzas. papamurphys.com. Love at 425 degrees.
There's do-it-yourself health, and then there's times when you need more. Introducing Providence Express Care. Get a same-day visit for the things you just can't treat at home. The sore throat that won't quit, that soccer sprain, the stomach ache that no pink drink can settle. We're here for you 7 days a week with extended hours to suit your life. Want fast care from folks who know health? That's Providence Express Care. Find the location nearest you today at providenceexpresscare.org.
Welcome back to Providence Park. Portland and Seattle scoreless at halftime in this preseason matchup. It's been a very entertaining first half. We're delighted to have you with us on this Sunday evening. And Schott's joined by my good friend Laura Schott, Portland State head coach and also former All-America at Cal. Back and forth. Portland comes out very aggressive. Seattle kind of counterpunches, but we're still scoreless.
Still scoreless, but there's been a lot of great attacks. There's been some really good chances by both teams. It's been a physical matchup, but very, very good play by both teams first half.
What has really impressed you about this Portland Thorns club so far, integrating the new faces?
It's been surprising how integrated they are so early on in the year with the interchange of the midfield and Heath and Klingenberg switching spots on the left side. It's been fun to watch.
How about grading the rookie Emily Sonnet out of Virginia?
Well, Little makes those runs through from midfield, and she stretches the back line, and Sonnet seems like she's a seasoned pro. She's doing fantastic.
And Nadia Nadim has been awfully good as well. In fact, it was Nadia Nadim early in this match that saved the day. It looked like Seattle was going to find the back of the net, and the highlights will prove proof in the pudding because Nadim's saved one off the line when Betos was a little bit, well, off balance and out of shape. Let's take a look. Watch Nadim now in the middle right there.
Cross comes in, player heads it back across, and Nadim saves the ball off the line.
Terrific play by the newcomer. And Hope Solo. Portland was really looking to find the back of the net early.
Klingenberg does a great job playing this ball across, and Hope comes out, punches it out.
Dagny just missing there. Here was another chance for the Portland Thorns.
Klingenberg again gets the ball on the end line, saves it off, saves it from going out of bounds, sends it across, and Sink hits the crossbar off the header.
Look at how close this is on another look for Sink, who climbs the ladder.
Sink can get up. She sure can.
Merritt Mathias had action coming up right here.
Mathias takes this touch. I think she wants to have that one back. She knocks it just wide of the goal.
And then a flurry late in the half, almost a Seattle own goal.
Almost. Fletcher hits her in the stomach, and Hope comes across a little late. If that had been on frame, it might have gone in.
So we're still scoreless at half. Second half just around the corner. Portland and Seattle renewing their Northwest rivalry. I think we're going to see some subs in the second half. What do you think?
I wouldn't be surprised if we do. We might see some people come onto the field that we haven't seen before.
So, Coach Schott, how about the play of Michelle Betos? We know that A.D. Franch is a little dinged up, will not see action tonight. We were told that anyway before the match. What's your take on Betos between the pipes?
Betos has obviously had a solid career so far. She's doing some very good things in this game, but also it's a preseason game, and there have been a couple times where there's been some confusion between her and her back line. She just needs to be a little bit more clear on the communication when she's going to come out, when she's going to stay, and those moments will probably disappear.
And what about Seattle? This club obviously comes back very much intact with a couple of really fun new pieces as well. They look as good as ever.
You have Mellis that's getting forward.
Yep.
You have the same people in the midfield that create a lot of problems for a lot of teams with Little and Fishlock and Winters. They do a great job interchanging. As mentioned before, Little makes those runs through the back line, timed very well, one of the best players in the world.
You know, the U.S. national team training camp is right around the corner. Call-ups that will affect the Portland Thorns. Allie Long, you love to see that for her. Megan Klingenberg, of course, and Emily Sonnet, Tobin Heath, Lindsay Horan. So we are enjoying watching these players tonight. We will not see them Wednesday night, and it'll give us a great opportunity to see the depth of this club in preseason play.
Absolutely. It's a great opportunity to see the depth of the Thorns this year. They have a solid team, with those players going away to get ready for the matches against Columbia. I'm looking forward to see how those new players step in and fill those roles, but I have no doubt that they're going to make an impact.
And obviously the depth you see now is really going to, come into play once the Olympics do start and the call-ups are permanent, whoever that might be. You're going to kind of see a glimpse of the future in these next couple of matches.
All teams across the league, but significantly impacted will be the Thorns with the new additions and some great players that will go to the Olympics and play for that Olympic team. The Thorns will be impacted, but again, with those players coming in, some players will need to prove themselves and take charge. It'll be a great opportunity for them to step into some positions and make a name for themselves and help the club.
Right, and those players I mentioned are just on the U.S. national team. Obviously, a lot of internationals for both clubs. So, Kat Reynolds will start the match for the Portland Thorns wearing number 2 for Kat Williamson. That is absolutely by design by Parsons.
Reynolds is a player that Parsons is familiar with.
There you go.
Plugging her into the lineup, see what she can do out here. She's a very, very solid player.
Acquired in a trade with the Spirit for Kleiner. Reynolds now wearing the Thorns gear, and you're right. I love the idea from Sink trying to find Dagny. Brynja's daughter has been very active in her first match with the Portland Thorns.
She's done a tremendous job so far. She's even played into some of that interplay and interchanging in the midfield.
Thorns will attack, going right at the Riveters. Heath and Klingenberg. Combination play there. Fishlock on top. She'll guard Heath, marking Heath all the way, and here's Heath going into open space, leaving the ball for Sinclair. Seattle wanted offside and got it.
Tobin's so dangerous. She's double teamed there by Fishlock and Little, two of the best players in the league, and she looks to feed that ball through to Sinclair, but Sinclair just a touch offsides.
Portland starting the second half, Laura, the way they started the opening 45, very aggressive and looking to force pace.
It's fun to see this Thorns team come out and press early and be very aggressive on the attacking end. They've generated some great chances from it.
Fishlock leaving it. She and Winters and Little, so much fun to watch. Second half just underway here at Providence Park. A scoreless first half between the Seattle Reign and hometown Portland Thorns. Part of the preseason tournament that the Thorns are putting on. The Thorns will face Oregon State on Wednesday night, and then next weekend it'll be the Houston Dash to wrap things up. Great opportunity for new Thorns head coach Mark Parsons to see the talent, integrate the pieces, find the flow, the chemistry. Long blocks that attempt, and Heath is able to get a boot on it. Winters and Horan going toe-to-toe, but it'll be a Seattle throw-in.
Horan has been very active in the midfield, both on the defensive end and on the attacking end. She's very quick to double team, very quick to help out. She's not afraid to get stuck in. Solid performance from her so far.
The strength of Horan is obvious as well, isn't it?
What a strong player. I would certainly never want to go into a tackle with Lindsey Horan.
And you've been in a mix many a time, but I hear you. And Schatz along with Laura Schott, head coach for Portland State. One of the game's great players in the Pac-12, having starred at Cal, is my broadcast partner as Fishlock takes a tumble. And a lot of you remember Laura from her playing days at Jesuit. I remember those days. You were a stud.
I barely remember those days.
Oh,
it's been a little while now, but
please.
No,
4 state titles you won.
Those teams were a lot of fun.
Dang, man.
We had very good teams. I had very good teammates. Very good coach, and Steve Fenna, who had gone to Oregon State during, well, just after my junior year.
I think Fenna is still the Oregon State's winningest coach.
Maybe.
And Linus Road is closing in on him, but I think Fenna still has the most wins.
Linus is a very good coach as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he's closing in on a record like that.
So Laura Schott, you know, when you think of Cal soccer, a lot of folks immediately go to Alex Morgan, maybe Fawcett. But the leading goal scorer ever for the Cal Golden Bears is the woman to my right, and that would be Laura Schott. So there. All right, here comes Seattle. I'm finished, I promise. I promise. Little wants to turn the corner and leaves it. Matthias with that dangerous left foot. Madden Millis has been in the mix and all over the pitch. I love this addition for Seattle. Double team comes out to Portland's advantage. Stepping in nicely is Winters, but there's Long leaving it. Last couple of years, Portland has had a really hard time scoring goals against this Seattle bunch. And here we are scoreless in the 51st minute.
That speaks to the Seattle team. Portland can score goals. With this group, I believe that they will score quite a few goals. This game really is a rivalry game.
Look at Heath. Gets shoved by Little and carries it. Sinclair, back tap. There's the shot, far post, and it looked like Dagny had a bit of an angle, but that shot kind of sailed on her. Nice sequence for the Portland Thorns.
Very nice sequence. Ball ends up at the foot of Heath. She finds Dagny. Dagny strikes that ball. Just sails wide of the post. Great strike by Dagny. Just needs to keep it a little bit lower on frame.
Solo had come out to try and cut down the angle. Dagny trying to go far post as the offside flag goes up. That was fun to watch, though. And you can't help but close your eyes and think what the coming days and weeks will do to get this team organized and on the same page, this Thorns bunch, Laura.
This game's just a starting point.
You bet.
All the good things that we see today for both teams will just improve. There'll be opportunity to learn from this game. Coach Parsons mentioned that after this game, he believes that he will learn more from this game, perhaps more than he's learned from preseason, just from matching up against a team that was in the finals last year and finally getting to play a quality opponent, not just playing each other.
He speaks of that, yep, and he says it'll be a benchmark. And as a coach, you know, when you're getting the troops ready before the regular season starts, Laura, I mean, aren't you kind of looking at the same thing with your Portland State team?
You use preseason to get a gauge of where players are, how they've come in. You get to see what work they've done over the offseason in preparation on their own, and then they come into the team, and then you see where the pieces fit.
Yep. And again, many new pieces for this Portland Thorns team. Coach Parsons thought that if Seattle was able to kind of knock Portland out of its rhythm, that things would look a little messy at times. But so far, I think Portland has done a very nice job of staying in shape. Here's Winters. Both clubs working out of the back nicely. Beautifully played by Horan. The dispossess, and here comes Sinclair and the Thorns. Allie knocked down from behind. Yanez got her. Quick restart, love it. Horan. Sliding tackle, nicely played, but Heath keeps it in bounds. So good with both feet is Tobin. Little cheeky play there. Horan goes down. Sinclair lost the touch. Just at the last second. A little firm with that touch from Sink as she tried to settle and shoot and goes wide.
Dagny ends up with the ball again here, and she sets it back to Sink, who first touch gets away from her a bit, but then she sends it just wide of goal. Bet she'd like that first touch back. But Sink's so dangerous in the 18. That's the player you want on the ball.
Absolutely. So it results in a corner kick here in the 55th minute. And again, Heath from either corner has had the honors. Here's Tobin. Klingenberg with the volley. She'll settle. Heath controls. Little marking her. Into space. Heath. Beautiful tackle by Little. Oh, this has been a fun match, Laura.
This does not seem like a preseason match.
Great point. Are you a fan of the quick restarts?
Depends on the time.
Okay.
Time of game.
Okay.
If it's on, I absolutely love the quick restart. Put the ball down and play. If there's an opportunity to go forward early, don't waste time. Get it down. Let's restart the game.
Corsi and Solo. Speaking of backup keepers, Haley Kottmeyer doing such a great job when Solo is called up. She, I think, has just been fantastic for Coach Harvey. In fact, I thought Kottmeyer might get a few votes for Keeper of the Year last year.
There's no doubt that she had a tremendous year last year.
Foot race here. Nadim. A little heavy on that touch.
Nadim tries to cut the corner there, and the ball just gets away from her a bit. Great idea to cut it inside.
Laura, why is it so? Is it because of the Olympic call-up, or do you need two really quality keepers at this level, or any level, really?
Especially during the call-ups, you need two very experienced and quality keepers. You're going to have these times where these keepers, they go into the World Cup, they go into the Olympics, and you want your defensive line to be confident when those people aren't there.
Right.
If that keeper that comes in is drastically different, they're going to play a lot differently, and you don't want that. You want them to be confident in the person who comes in and takes that spot.
And obviously you never know, as Little is tripped up. Free kick coming on this set piece for Seattle when injuries tell the tale as well. So yeah, you can sure see why Parsons or Laura Harvey really want those two top flight keepers. Matthias tried to get ahead on it. This is a dangerous ball. Fishlock! Right to the gut of Betos, who goes to her knees.
Fishlock did a tremendous job with that ball, got a hold of it. Very, very well struck. Betos did a good job to hold it.
Right on frame, but right at Betos. Jess Fishlock, dangerous anytime she's around that ball. Just electric. Little loses the touch there. Allie Long now will find Horan. Little dummy run there, but nobody there. That'll come. Nice job by Allie to dispossess, and the Thorns would like to get something going at midfield. Into traffic, though. Oh, what a play there. And I'm telling you, Seattle had action down the flank. Klingenberg tossed to the ground by Matthias. And there's the yellow.
This is just an example of why this does not feel like a preseason game.
You're right.
Menges comes across and makes that save, sliding across. And then out there on the wing, on the left, Klingenberg gets fouled so hard. Yellow cards in a preseason match. You don't always see that.
Yeah.
You don't always see two teams going at each other, but that's what you get when there's rivalry.
How good was that play by Menges?
Outstanding.
You talk about fast players, and that's Menges. Beautiful ball. Well, you know, if Dagny isn't around the ball all the time, it's most of the time. She just seems to be in the right place at the right time, and the volley was right at Solo.
We've seen her post up a couple times
Yeah.
and lay balls back, but she got a hold of that one pretty well. I'd like to see if she steps through it a bit more. She can keep it, you know, low on frame, but also add a little bit more power.
Seattle coming right back. The dangerous Mellis. Beautiful ball. Overrun. And the Thorns and Nadim will carry. Near sideline for Heath. Heath, far post, nobody there. Number 16, Carson Pickett in the lineup for Seattle.
That play started with a great ball from Moran, and Tobin Heath showing her speed very often this game, gets in behind. Defender cuts the angle. She goes 1v1. Great opportunity. That's an isolation that the Thorns want, an opportunity the Thorns want to create on the wing. Get Tobin isolated.
I like that game plan a lot. Here's Little, and she'll play a little cat and mouse with Mellis. Little given some room. Into space, Mellis. That ball is up for grabs. While sliding in at the last second. Nicely played by Reynolds for the Portland Thorns.
Reynolds, perhaps her starting position was a bit behind the play, but she did a great job of getting in front of the Reign player and sliding in. Make sure she didn't possess the ball or get a shot off in the 18.
I'm excited to see how Carson Pickett finds her way into the Seattle lineup, the 4th overall pick of the draft this year. A stud at Florida State. Smartly played there by Heath. It'll be a Thorns throw in here in the 62nd minute, still scoreless. Subs waiting to come in for both clubs. Sade Pratt for the Portland Thorns. And for Seattle, Lindsay Elston patiently waiting. '63rd minute. Both teams with good depth. So Sinclair finished. Dahlstream in now, and Elston. And as I mentioned, number 29, Sade Pratt in. Had some action with Sky Blue, was a really good defender for Maryland. Kirsten Dahlstream is wearing number 25, was supposed to be given the number 26 jersey, but she is number 25. '64th minute here at Providence Park, scoreless. Very entertaining game between these Northwest rivals. Both clubs have had their chances. At this point, nobody finding the back of the net yet. Little wants to turn that corner. He's able to find some daylight. Uh-oh. Fishlock, little scoop, but nobody there. So Sinclair finished for the evening, Laura. How would you grade her game this evening?
Today they've played her in a point position, which is a great position for her, and she's done a great job of laying balls back and looking to get forward. She's done a good job spinning out. Her intensity has been very, very high as well. And with a player like Sinclair that's very experienced, knows when to lay the ball back, maybe look to turn and distribute, you gain a lot in that point position just by her experience. And of course, we all know her as a goal scorer.
You bet. Hit the crossbar in that first half, did Sinclair. So close to recording the game's first goal. Seattle's had some chances too. Game slowing just a bit here in the 65th minute.
Maybe a product of a couple substitutions. Players just finding their feet, new rhythm.
Sonnet very calm back there. And this is against one of the obviously most potent offenses in the league. And Sonnet has done a very nice job in her professional NWSL debut. #1 overall draft pick. Virginia's had a couple of those in consecutive years. Morgan Bryan, of course, out of Virginia. And now Sonnet. Quick throw in. Horan will send it right back to Klingenberg. Up top now. Nadine. Beautiful ball. Dagny leaving it. Horan will track it down. Nadeem inside. What a great ball from Allie Long to Nadeem inside the 18. And a little burst of activity by the Thorns, that's for sure.
Nadeem takes that quick touch inside. She didn't quite get to that turn touch, but she gets there. She's going to get a great shot off.
Millis leaves it. Good job by Horan just to disrupt and knock the ball away from Little. Pratt dispossessed, and Seattle will try and counter.
Ball goes out of bounds. Dagny's been doing a good job of stepping forward and putting some additional pressure on that Reign defense at times.
I think she is going to be an absolute wonderful addition to this team. She looks at home already with her teammates.
She does, and it's a great addition when you have a player in that midfield position that can come forward and put some pressure on the backs, because it allows the forwards to do a little bit less work. If it's done intelligently and she can step forward, it's additional pressure that the Thorns can put on the Reign defense and maybe generate a few extra turnovers.
You mentioned the play of Tobin Heath as well, Laura, in terms of the ground that she has covered, how aggressive she's been on both sides of the ball.
Tobin Heath is so crafty and quick on the ball, and we see that a lot. Today, she also has a skill set of just being fast to be able to go at players 1v1, and she doesn't always do that in time and space. She's always had the skill and the ability, but because she's so technical, she doesn't always get open that way. There are so many players on both these rosters that can beat you multiple ways.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Both of these teams really feature just that. Lindsey Horan, of course, bypassing college and playing professional soccer right out of the chutes after high school. And with the U.S. national team and now in the NWSL wearing the Portland kit. She has been very impressive in her Thorns debut.
She played for a very good club team out of Colorado. She went straight into pros. Unheard of, really.
Oh, heck yeah.
Game.
UNC thought they had her all gobbled up with a scholarship, and she decided to go over to France. Seattle looking to make things happen here in the 69th minute. Great ball. Knocked away. Sonnet got a boot or a body part on it anyway, as Mellis was bearing down on Betos, but it'll be a Seattle corner kick here in the 69th minute.
Fishlock with another one of those creative little flicks to spring a player in behind.
Yeah, great call, Laura. Her little scoop flick was perfect. She makes the slide tackle, jumps up, pops the little scoop, and here we are with the Seattle corner. 70th minute, scoreless here at Providence Park. Beautiful ball. Dagny gets ahead on it. Seattle, though, still controls. The Reign keeping that ball in their offensive third. Little very dangerous in open space. Nadim. Beautiful ball to Alley. And then to Heath, and the offside flag goes up. I like the idea.
Oftentimes we see Heath pull wide and look to receive the ball at her feet. There she starts inside and she curves her run outside. Long plays a good ball, but she's just a bit offsides.
Mark Parsons very impressed with Allie Long in terms of her off-season fitness regimen. Says she's in the best shape of her life, and the work that she has done. She's going to have to play a great deal of defense in this position, and will have to play it very well. Again, it's Horan disrupting and dispossessing. Pratt sending it right back to Reynolds. And Little puts the heat on. Fishlock again into space. Dangerous ball here. Misplayed just a little bit. Dahlstrom leaves it. Ball wanted to carry to that far post, but a Thorns defender blocks it. Elston has showed some activity. Great hustle by Menges, who comes up limping just a bit.
Again, another example of how this doesn't seem to be a preseason game. Klingenberg steps forward, Menges comes over, they're understanding of each other, and then again, the hard tackles. You don't always see those in preseason games.
So Havana Solon into the match. Mellis will take a seat. Boy, is she fun to watch. Going to see a lot of Mellis this season. These clubs will meet over and over and over during the regular season. Turning the corner, leaving it for Alley. Heath. Boy, a goal would be huge in the next few minutes. Long with the big hop right at Solo. Horan was there, but no chance. An easy pickup by Solo here in the 73rd minute. Pickett will leave it. And nearly a turnover. That ball went off of Seattle. It will be a Thorns throw-in. Pratt overruns it. You know, one of the players, the new faces that will be integrated down the line a little bit for this Portland Thorns club as Amadine Henry. I mean, the Thorns have been chomping at the bit to sign one of the world's best players out of France. She should be here sometime in June.
Silver ball winner from the World Cup.
Yep.
French international. Very seasoned midfielder. Very experienced. The midfield for the Thorns already looks very good.
Nadine cuts it back. Nadine! Nadine! That got the crowd going.
Good help there by Barnes for the Reign to come back. As she cuts back, she comes through and knocks the ball out for a corner.
Barnes,
great.
Yeah, she's everywhere, isn't she? Every minute of every game, Lauren Barnes is there. Corner. Here in the 75th minute. Dangerous. Horan. Pratt. And there's Fishlock coming out of the scrum. Here comes Jess. She will carry. Beautiful ball to Little. Are you kidding me? Here in the 75th minute, Solon comes off the bench and just slots home the game's first goal. It started with a Portland corner kick, Fishlock to Little, and then boom, Solon scores.
Again, that dangerous combination in midfield. Fishlock pulls away. She plays that ball all the way across the field, across midfield to Little. And then that final ball in and a solid finish. Very good finish.
Solon, who was not able to play last year with that broken ankle, she is fit and she's back. And how about that? Off the bench and boom, slots home the game's first goal.
What a great start to your season off the bench.
Yeah. Well, she was so calm as she just waited for that ball to settle at her feet and then decided how she was going to beat Betos. It was just really, it almost seemed slow motion like, and she was able to get that goal.
It did, and she slotted it. She put it right where she should.
You bet.
She put it right where she should to finish that goal off.
Solon played for the U.S. U23 team. Really good talent, and obviously that injury last year was horribly disappointing for her. And here's Little as Betos comes way off her line. Seattle's not finished. Betos gets a mid on it as Yanez tried to put the second goal in the back of the net for Seattle.
Yanez turns and strikes that ball very well. Came off her left foot inside.
Yanez knows that Betos could be a bit out of position, but Michelle is able to flick that big mid-aught and save the day. Keep this game within striking range.
Big play by Betos to get back and make that dive to her left, make that save.
Seattle wanting to put this thing to bed. Are you kidding me? Jess Fishlock, you can play on my team anytime. How about that flick header? Fishlock stands at 5'2". Check it out.
Barnes has been taking those corners for the Reign and swings that one in. You always want to find a Fishlock.
Oh my gosh. I mean, she was facing the exits, heading this way, and somehow, some way gets her head on it.
When you're strong in the air, if you want to get up, you want to finish a goal. If you're 5'2", it doesn't matter.
What a goal by Fishlock. She had 8 of them last year. Is one of the most entertaining, dangerous players on the planet. That was just so fun to watch. That was remarkable. At 5'2", climbs the ladder and has pace on that flick header.
Great technique to get up, lean back, get that ball across, finish it far post.
And the Thorns are going to keep battling. You know they will. There's still a lot of time left in this match. 2-0. Seattle with goals within 2.5 minutes of each other, Laura. As Danny Foxhoven, another former Portland Pilot, as Yanez comes out, she had a very strong match. And Danny Foxhoven, who was with the Portland Thorns a few years ago, now with Seattle.
Foxhoven, very, very talented forward that played at Portland.
And Dagny coming out, a great debut as Celeste Bourret, the graduate from your alma mater, Cal, where number 30 will take the pitch.
That's right, she had a very good career. She played as a midfielder or a forward.
And here she is. Firm on that touch. Non-roster invitee is Bourret. Same with Pratt, getting valuable experience. Haran and, Little tying things up. '80th minute. This game was scoreless until the 75th minute when Solon scored the game's first goal. And then a couple of minutes later, it was Jess Fishlock. A set-piece goal that Mark Parsons, thought that Seattle would have a bit of an advantage in terms of set pieces. So much for Portland to work on. That was kind of not as high on the list as some other things, and thought Seattle might be dangerous in that category.
Seattle has a number of players returning that are impact players for them. And when you have that experience, and they've been working on set pieces for years, they come into preseason, they have that understanding of where they're going to find players, and they might have some extra folds in their set pieces. They find Fishlock, seasoned veteran, for that goal.
You saw exactly that. That's a great point, Laura. It's not often when your target is a 5'2" player like Fishlock, but what she's able to do, so strong in the air, as you mentioned, she just kind of laid in the weeds and came up and got that thing.
It's not always the player that you identify visually that's very good in the air. Some shorter players are very good at finding positioning, taking a defender in one direction, and then finding space. Fishlock's one of those players.
Seattle Reign fans will be watching highlights of that one for a while. That was really something special. And that made it 2-0. Putting the Thorns on the hot seat. Here's Little. There are going to be some epic regular season battles between these two teams. Oh boy. If tonight is any indication, something else. Michelle Cruz into the lineup now for Seattle as well. So Harvey able to substitute freely.
Elston, Cruz, and Little combined very well on the left. They got the ball back to on the right, got the ball back to the left.
Seattle looking for more. Who I thought for sure Solon would pull the trigger on that shot inside the 18.
As you make these substitutions in the game wears on, you're in the 82nd minute. This is where some of that chemistry hasn't been developed for the Thorns. And it's there a bit more for the Reign. Some of that understanding of leaving a Little on the field, having some of these players at Fishlock and still in midfield. These players will carry the team because they've been with the club for a long time.
That's a really good point. And off the volley, Solon wide. It's hard to replace that veteran connection and the returners that have played with each other thousands of minutes for this Seattle bunch. Not just hundreds, thousands of minutes.
You develop not only the skill with each other and tactical understanding, but now once you've played with each other long enough, you don't have to look anymore. You don't have to take a look. You know where they're going to be, and you have a sense, you have an understanding of each other. They show that very, very well.
How realistic is it for Portland Thorns fans to hope or expect the quickness of the chemistry to reveal itself on their side?
depends. There's no timeline. You want it to happen faster than longer. It may happen very quickly. They may watch film from this game and add it into their next game, their next couple games, and it's there. It may take a little longer to develop. What we know now is this Thorns roster. These players are very, very talented, and this is their first game together this season. So there's a long way to go.
You bet.
Chemistry doesn't just happen overnight because you put good players on the field.
And would you take this kind of a game matchup over a really hard training session that you can orchestrate and control? Would you take that any time?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
You see exactly where you're at. Also, these goals were scored as the Thorns and the Reign started to make changes. So you can see that some of the youth are inexperienced or nerves. And when you're playing in Portland, there's always a big crowd that can play into it too. You're not used to this environment.
Little trying to turn the corner. Horan would have none of it. Quick passing in a triangle by the Thorns, but Portland turns it over. And there's some terrific passing by Seattle. Look at that ball by Fishlock. Inside the 18, another dangerous situation. Knocked off the ball at the last second is Elston. Seattle wanted a penalty called there, and we'll play on.
That play started again like the first goal for Seattle, where Fishlock received the ball and then changed the point of attack.
Two to nothing Seattle. Both of their goals coming within minutes of each other. As Klingenberg deftly sidesteps any kind of danger, leaves it into space, and the offside flag will go up.
Good chance there for the Thorns. Klingenberg coming forward with that ball, which she does so well, and looking for that player in behind, but the run a little ill-timed. That timing gets down, that chemistry gets down. That's going to connect.
The non-roster invitees, whether it's Pratt or Bourret, you know, even for both clubs, how critical is it for them to get these minutes to show what they can do, looking for roster spots?
Very important. And for a Bourret or a Pratt, you're in there fighting for a position to prove that you belong on this roster, which is a very difficult roster to make.
Man. Sarah Zadrazil also available in terms of a non-roster invitee. Tough international from Austria. We haven't seen her yet, though, tonight. Smart play by Corsi, just getting it right back to Hope, who's looking to post another clean sheet.
I'm sure there are lots of combinations that both coaches would like to work through and look at and get different looks at different players, but also in preseason matches, similar to regular season matches, there are substitution rules and you can only put so many players in games at certain times.
Heath. Tobin not liking that call at all as she and Foxhoven get tangled. Danny playing pretty good defense, quite honestly, but Tobin thought the whistle should have blown in Portland's favor.
The Reign again in a situation like this where a foul is called. They're taking their time.
You bet.
Bring Solo over. She's going to take her time. They're going to milk the clock up 2-0.
Well, we're in the 88th minute, and you're not kidding. Solo is just waving and orchestrating, and Seattle's fine with balls going out of bounds, and they'll take their sweet time. To your point, Laura, I would too.
Absolutely. And again, a veteran team. These veterans are gonna play the game within the game. They're gonna take time when they're up. The Thorns in this situation down 2-0. They want to keep the ball in the field.
That through ball blocked by the Thorns, and easy call to make there. Long looking for the quick restart, and we'll find Klingenberg on this near sideline. Klingenberg in that funky trade that sent her from Houston to Seattle to Portland, obviously part of that Morgan deal with Orlando. And a great get for the Thorns, Megan Klingenberg.
Megan Klingenberg is an outstanding player. She's very technical. Any ball that comes around her, she's receiving on the attacking end. She can bring a ball down from distance, and it just sticks to her foot. She puts it right where she wants it. Defensively, obviously, it's very, very difficult to get around her.
Pratt, nicely done. Nudges inside the 18. Not much on that shot, though.
Good moment for Pratt to break loose, cut back on the field, and look to play inside.
Ball knocked away by Little. '90th minute here at Providence Park. It'll be a Thorns throw-in. Klingenberg, as the final seconds tick off in this preseason match, and it's been a fun one, Laura. Lots to look forward to if you're a Thorns fan. Same with Seattle.
Lots to look forward to for both sides.
Great ball into Klingenberg. Crossing pass, just knocked away. Oh, I love that cross. Here's Horan with the left. Thought maybe she'd crack it. Allie taking it away. Ball up for grabs. Long trying to get a foot on it. 2 minutes of added time just announced as Nadim sends Fishlock flying, and the yellow was given to Nadia Nadim. Fishlock still down.
Obviously, this game very competitive between Seattle and Portland. At this point in the game, though, you don't want to foul. You'll see how much time comes off the clock when you foul in this situation.
Great
They're
point.
not going to take it quickly unless the referee rushes them.
That's a great point. Parsons promised a very physical match from his Thorns side. I just think that's an automatic when these two clubs get on the pitch. They could play in somebody's backyard and it would be like this. That's what you love about the rivalry, too. And it's been like this since the inception of the league. No doubt about it. Rain stayed away tonight. We were very lucky. Chilly evening, no doubt about it, but dry. Pratt's gotten some good playing time tonight. She'll leave it on that far sideline and into space to nobody. Barnes will control. Fishlock has been a magician tonight. Controlling pace with some great services, and of course that flick header goal off the set piece that gave Seattle its second goal of the night.
That quick one-touch play. Players are so technical. Movement off the ball. Fishlock's very good at finding space. She'll pull away from defenders and pull back toward her back line to open up space and receive the ball. She's not always running forward.
Boy, I've seen some really good things from the Thorns tonight.
Absolutely. There's been there's been great things from both sides. The Thorns, the result in this game doesn't really matter so much as it matters that this is a starting point and there are things that the Thorns are going to evaluate.
As a coach, give me a quick idea. Well, that'll do it. So we'll get to your evaluation in a minute. But that will be the final here at Providence Park. A hug between Harvey and Mark Parsons as Seattle scores 2 goals in a matter of a couple of minutes, 75th and 77th minutes, to win it 2-0. Let's take a look at the highlights, Laura. First half, first of all, Seattle looking to score early.
Ball's crossed in, headed back across the goal. Great save off the line. Betos makes sure the goal is covered.
And here's where Sinclair almost brought the house down with the header.
She saved that ball on the end line, sends it back across. Sink hits the crossbar. Great chance for the Thorns.
Second half action now. Dagny looking to find the back of the net.
I think Dagny wants this one back.
You bet.
He sends her through, and then with her left foot, she just strikes it wide.
And here's Sink.
Dagny again lays the ball back. Sink plays it just wide of the goal, but again, Sink's the player you want on that ball. She'll finish a lot of those.
Fishlock. Little volley, but right at Betos. And here's the game's first goal coming up.
Brings her ball across her body, right foot trap. Places it just inside that near post. Well-placed goal.
Solon right there. Yeah, it was, and that was the game's first goal in the 75th minute.
Great chance by Little there. She had made a run through. Followed up. Save made by Betos.
And here's the goal of the game. Fishlock, you got to take another look at that one. You just have to.
Great cross on the corner. Fishlock running backward. Gets enough on the ball to send it far post.
That was really something to behold. Fishlock's goal really put this thing away. So 2-0. Portland Thorns on the wrong end of the result. But, you know, we know that the Oregon State Club is coming in on Wednesday, and we'll have that for you at 7:30. But your takeaway tonight, Laura?
This is a starting point. Again, both teams are going to improve from here. The Thorns are going to have an opportunity to improve quite a lot because they've had so many new players added to this roster. They're going to look at the film, they're going to evaluate, they're going to look at what went well, where they can maybe make some adjustments and some changes. And one thing to keep in mind is those goals were scored after a couple changes had been made on the right side of the field with some players that aren't as experienced. So the Thorns have a lot of positive takeaways from this game.
I agree. Okay, folks, that's a wrap from Providence Park. Preseason match between the Thorns and Reign, and give it to Seattle 2-0. The Thorns will continue their preseason tournament, as we just showed you, on Wednesday night, hosting Oregon State at 7:30. For Laura Schott and our entire broadcast crew, I'm Ann Schott saying thanks so much for watching Portland Thorns Soccer, and we will see you Wednesday night.